Who's going first?
I was waiting for you to jump in.
I can start. I became a volunteer at Jessica's house. After I moved back to Exeter, I was working with palliative clients for the VON at the hospital. And then Jessica's house opened, and I had already been trained in Waterloo, and I had volunteered at Lissard House.
And I had recently retired, and my husband had died in 2011, and I really felt the desire to do some volunteering. And I didn't know sort of what was available, and then I heard about Jessica's house being built and asked a bit of questions, asked around, and found out about some training that was being done, and got involved in that, and yeah, the rest is history.
I started at Jessica's house working with the clients and their families, support and visiting with them and helping the nurses if there was a need, preparing meals. And then when I was offered an opportunity to train in bereavement, then we took the course, and the rest is history. Right?
And it's quite similar for me. After I had the training done, then I started volunteering in-house, and enjoyed working with the clients and working with Tracy if they needed some personal care, keeping the house clean, that kind of thing. And then it was there was an opportunity offered up that we could do some more training in support group work, and it really spoke to me. I felt like that was something that I would really benefit from learning. And then once I got into doing some of the training, I thought, yeah, I really enjoy spending the time with people one-on-one and getting involved in that type of volunteer work.
It's helped my confidence and self-esteem. And I guess I enjoy working with people. It makes me feel more worthwhile.
I feel like I'm contributing, helping people go through a journey that I went through, and realize that it's really nice to have that kind of support. I really like working with people. My job was involved with people care in healthcare, and that part of it is, I miss that being retired. So it's a really nice fit, and it feels good to feel like you're participating in something worthwhile, and also helping people through their grief journey.
A support group is a mixture of people who are going through their grieving process. They could have all experienced the same person dying, or they could be all different, and different types of death. So they are very varied. Yeah, we've had Zoom. We've had Zoom groups, and those were the hardest.
Mm-hmm. I think, thinking back on the groups that we had, the support group is sort of like coming into a new place in your life and finding that there's some commonality amongst the group. And with that, I think people feel they can relax a little bit and share their stories. And sometimes it takes, a few weeks for individuals to feel like they can fully share. But I think there's a feeling in that group that you're all kind of one, that you're there together to support one another. And even for the toughest days, I think individuals still feel that they are in a very safe place in that support group.
I can think of one where one of the clients shared with us that the circumstances around her partner's passing, that she had never ever told anyone, and that she opened up and told us that she did feel safe and comfortable because we'd all experienced.
I think one of the things that's really remarkable is meeting individuals that have mostly never met before and seeing them come together and develop bonds with one another. And it's sort of a slow burn at the start, but then the weeks go by, and by the time you're sort of halfway through, 5 weeks through, you can really start to observe the connections that people are having and the camaraderie and, the little joking a bit and learning about each other and kind of, playing a bit with that in a very friendly, supportive way. And it is a really neat experience. And I think when we did our Zoom call, for me, that was something that was really hard to feel. You wanted to feel like you were supporting each other, but it was so different from an in-house group get-together that I think it was a really big difference from having a support group in-house. So for me, that just seeing that group come together and start to work with one another and start to support one another, no matter what walk of life.
And I just add to that from our Zoom session, I think we only had one. I met one of the people afterwards, and she came up to me, recognized me, and came up and threw her arms around me to thank me. So we must have made an impact.
It still made an impact, yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Even though it wasn't the same as being in-house.
Yeah. And for the group, they didn't know any different. For Pauline and I, we had experienced having an in-house group, and then we did a Zoom group. And so there was a big difference for us as the co-facilitators. But I totally agree that, the group did still get some benefit from getting together and sharing their stories.